What's up, y'all? It's S2K back at another video about a franchise that I love entirely too much that it concerns the people around me. That franchise being the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Back in '84, creators Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird had made a crime-fighting anthropomorphic team that niggas all over the world just loved. I am niggas. I love these motherfuckers to death. I kid you fucking not. So we got these pizza-eating, nunchuck swinging, blunt blowing, polo draw showing ass niggas. And ever since then, 6-year-old me has not let up. Even to this day, 6-year-old me is taking over my mind whenever I see these niggas. What is it that I want to talk about though? Well, Shredder's Revenge Cowabunga Collection got announced not too long ago, and these games are soon to be released, actually like right around the corner. And just have a minor question. How come we never got another attempt at a immersive Ninja Turtles game? Now look, I get it. A lot of games are being pumped out on a daily basis, whether it's multiplayer, free to play, or single player. There is some game that is just being cranked out to fucking companies. And I know over the years we have had a lot of license holders to get acquired with the Ninja Turtles license. Like, okay, I know back in the day we had Konami, then you fuck around, get Activision. Why the fuck did my Snapchat notification just... And I know between Konami and Activision was Ubisoft. And my question is, how come we never just got a big game for Ninja Turtles? Now, the only games that I consider big for Ninja Turtles are these two. One being simply titled Out of the Shadows, not the movie, the game, and the other one being titled Mutants in Manhattan. Both of these games try to do something different with the Ninja Turtles in general, as far as the scope of the game, how much shit you can do, the wide areas you can roam, the enemies you can fight, you know, all that good stuff. And I get it, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. All the classic games are golden. Turtles in Time, you know, the Manhattan Project, the fighting game that we kind of need. Like, now's the time. Street Fighter 6 is around the corner, my nigga. But at the same time, you feel me? It just always struck me because we always had different games for all these other superheroes and franchises. For instance, Spider-Man. Spider-Man had a shit ton of classic games. Well, not a shit ton, but he had some classic games. You know, Maximum Carnage, the one on that computer that nobody really plays that much. I think some on Atari. The PS1 games, and all the tie-in licensed games that he had in like the early to mid 2000s. And eventually we get Spider-Man PS4. Spider-Man PS4 is seen as a definitive Spider-Man game because it allows you to do so much and it makes you feel just like fucking Spider-Man. To the combat, the world, the characters they use. I can't wait till the sequel comes out. That shit will definitely be being played on this channel. But at the same time, we never got something in that scope for the Ninja Turtles. And don't even make me bring up Batman because all the Arkham games are fucking GOAT. That being said, what is Mutants in Manhattan and Out of the Shadows, you may be asking? Well, in 2013 or late 2012, I think I should have done some research before I did this shit. But anyways, in early 2013, based off my memory, we get a trailer for one of the first few games coming out as like an add-on to the TMNT 2012 that came out in September 29th of 2012. And we got our first glimpse, our first teaser, Out of the Shadows. Now, a lot of people weren't really fucking with it when it was first revealed because of how the turtles looked, how lacking the game looked. And I remember, you know, before the game had came out, the release date was for the summer of 2013. We didn't get that shit till the end of August on Xbox, and then it got delayed on PS3 until like the spring of the next year. So that was already a red flag. And plus, when the game had came out, it was buggy and glitchy as fuck, and not a lot of people were fucking with it. It gave us mixed to bad reviews, and that's completely understandable. I played the game myself, and me being biased, I 100% loved this shit. Like, I couldn't even go up against the fact that it was buggy and glitchy. Of course it fucking was. I had shit thrown and niggas running at me at all in every direction, but I still managed to make it through and love this fucking game. Love is kind of an understatement, actually. I remember I beat this game about like 50 times. That's not even an exaggerated number. Of course this game was short. It was only $20 on like digital markets, and it didn't have too much to it. You had all 4 turtles to play with on the fly. The story was relatively short, the cutscenes were ass, and the dialogue was mid, but at the same time, the gameplay was a bit entertaining. It kind of felt like Arkham, and you could do combos, you could do finishers. They had gadgets you could use, like the fucking Kasari Goblin from the 2012 series, the Gravity Gauntlet, Iron Fist for Raphael. It was lit. Like, you had a lot of shit going on in this game, and it was so short and so small that a lot of people, again, were not fucking with it. So I couldn't be mad at the negative reviews it got, but the shot that they were taking was looking like a good direction for the TMNT, because this is only games like that. The games we had beforehand, like I said, were side-scroller beat-em-ups, or just slap together tie-in license games. Maybe, you know, the 2017 TMNT movie tried it, but that shit was so fucking mid it hurts, and nobody really counts that one. So the next game we would get be released in 2016 called Mutants in Manhattan. Now, Mutants in Manhattan was also a goated game, you feel me? Like, this was kind of like a return to form as far as the button mashing, because you could do combos and all the other good stuff. You know, it's a Turtles game, you feel me? But it wasn't local co-op like Out of Shadows attempted to make it. Yeah, by the way, that game was local co-op, 2-player for story mode, 4-player for the beat 'em up. It delivered online multiplayer, which in this day and age, you can't go wrong with that. But for the game that it was striving to be, I would assume this game will have some type of local co-op, whether it be split screen, you know, 4-player, whatever. But, you know, that's just probably me asking for entirely too much. But at the same time, this game was just pretty much a 3D open area beat 'em up game. Like, okay, you will go around this game, each mission will have you do several tasks until you get to the ending and fight the boss. And there were about, like, what, 7 or 8 bosses in this game. Memorable ones: Bebop, Rocksteady, Karai, Shredder, Krang, I think Slash, and Wingnut. And also, I forgot the Shark, but I remember he was in there too. All the boss fights were pretty good, and it felt like an actual, you know, return of form. Like, there was the hectic action that you would get in the arcade game. It just wasn't as simplistic, and it had more shit added to it, in which I didn't think it necessarily broke the game. If anything, it made it better. Plus, like I said, it was an open area game. You could run all around the streets of New York, in the sewers, in Krang's lab, in Shredder's lair. It was lit. Now, it wasn't, you know, to the extent where it was like a linear, straight up, you know, from start to finish board. You just had this open area that you would do shit in until it was time to finish. And honestly, I felt like that's just amazing. Like, for a Ninja Turtles game, you see in the comics and the shows, these motherfuckers be all over the place. Earth, Dimension X, space, the sewers, the crib, yo mama house, so on and so forth, you feel me? So, like, the amount of shit that they were putting into this game, honestly, I feel as if they were going in the right direction. And no game since these two has been trying to attempt to do anything of that sort. And now I understand, you feel me? Like I said, it's not broke, don't fix it, you know? But all in the same breath, I'm tired of the Turtles games only being celebrated when it's a callback to something classic and not trying to do something new. Now, I don't have a problem with playing these beat 'em ups. These beat 'em ups are part of the reason why I actually like beat 'em ups. I love beat 'em ups. Streets of Rage 4 is literally my favorite beat 'em up of all time, right next to River City Girls and Scott Pilgrim. And while I'm pretty sure Shredder's Revenge being made by the same developers that made Streets of Rage 4 and Scott Pilgrim is going to be a good game, but it's just the same shit that we've been getting ever since the 90s. You got a couple attempts on the GBA and the DS. I think a couple apps attempt to do it. Even that shitty ass attempt in 2012 we got on the Wii and Xbox, it was so bad that the PlayStation didn't even want it. So all I'm saying is, the 80s babies, they'll come on here, start complaining, talking about you don't know what a good game is, even if it hit you in your face. Cause fuck y'all. Look, I play games, bro. I play a lot of games, just as much as the next motherfucker. And I respect the classic games just as much as the next motherfucker. Point being, I'm just ready for something new, and I'm pretty sure the vast majority of Turtles fans are as well. So if you agree with me, if you agree with me, let me know. If you disagree, let me know as well. As always, this is S2K signing out. And also, Matt McMuscles, if you're watching this video, what happened? Love it. Big fan. Please make it what happened on Out of the Shadows. I feel like this is something right up your alley. So, yeah. All right.